Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. How we doing? How we doing? I'm ready to get this all rolling. Let me get the stream up on my phone. Where are we calling in from? Where are we calling in from, ladies and gentlemen? We're a little early. So we're going to let people come on, do their thing. Oh, where's that? Okay. Can you guys hear me all right? For those of you that are here, let me know. Let me know. People are going to slowly but surely start to roll in. The stream is supposed to kick off in 3 minutes, so we're a little early. But we're here to chat. What's up, Sean? How we doing? How we doing, ladies and gentlemen? So normally I got kind of some talking points that I want to build off of, right? But that is not going to be this case this time. Every time I live stream, the overwhelming response I get is my best work is done when we're streaming. So we are going to start at the core of it all with the Unismundus. That's what we're going to be talking about. And then we're going to kind of break off into some other theoretical stuff we can understand to better impact our lives. Where are we calling in from, ladies and gentlemen? Where are you watching from? I'm curious. Sean, I think you're in Arizona, right? I remember that. But we're going to slowly but surely get this rolling. And we're going to get back to it. We got India in the chat. Let's go. Jack, you're too kind. You're too kind. Cliff, what is up? We got Jersey Shore in the chat. Let's go. Let's go. We got Indiana. That's fire. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We're going to get into it. I know people are going to start rolling in at their own pace. Yes, sir. Jack, I appreciate you. Everything been going well, though? Arizona, you still killing it on the doors out there? California, baby, me too. I'm in SoCal. I'm in Southern California. Rep the set. Oh, we got Erica's first time here. Oh, let's go. Kia, what's up? We got British Columbia. Montana. We got Cleveland, Ohio. NorCal. Let's go. All right. And we're ready to get this rolling. People are going to come in at their own pace. So I want you to drop a 1 in the chat if you're ready for me to just throw it on you. Start right at the top. We're going to go crazy off the bat. So drop a 1 if you're ready. Drop a 1. Now, this is the rule for tonight. Because I'm out here, I'm literally just going to be free flowing. I need to go back and forth with you guys, okay? So I would love to hear your interaction because you guys actually give me ideas and help me unlock more wisdom. So make me that promise. We're going to be engaging tonight. We're going to keep it live. That's what makes these lives fun. Oh, yeah. I appreciate you, Jack. Good luck on the doors. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So this is the topic I want to start with, right? There's something called the Unismundus. This is something that's been talked about in a bunch of spiritual philosophical texts, but it's something that Carl Jung was very, very interested in, and he didn't get the chance to fully explore before he passed away. Now, what the Unismundus is, it's the world, it's the reality that exists beyond duality, right? So one of the fundamental things we learn, right? Einstein E equals mc squared. What does this mean? This means that theoretically, mind equals matter. This is a big piece of information, right? Because if we want things to be better, we're always looking to the external world for some type of validation to verify this, right? So we're looking to this realm of matter. But the truth is, the matter reflects the mind. Now, I have a question for you guys. How many of you had weird synchronicities happen? How many of you guys see angel numbers, right? We got like 1111. We got 222. We got 333. How many of you guys see angel numbers? And if you do, tell me which ones you see in the chat. I want to know, because there's something super important about the angel numbers. Tell me which angel numbers you see. I got to look right here. 555, 666, 111, 444. Okay. Now, these are synchronicities. Okay. So this Unismundus, right? This one song, this universe, all things exist. So technically, nothing is separate. This is the core fundamental principle, right? Everything is stemming from the same source. Mind and matter are one and the same. Now I'm going to break down the angel numbers for you guys. Because this was the first thing that started to happen on my awakening. As soon as I understood what was happening with the numbers, I started to have just crazy spiritual and mystical experiences. Like once my awareness increased beyond the arithmetic and numerical realm, I had some crazy stuff start to happen. So I'm excited to dive deep into that. And it all starts here, right? Mind equals matter. This is where all religions come from. Every religion is talking about this field. This is the concept of yin and yang, right? This is what Einstein discovered in theoretical physics. Everyone's coming to this one realization. Now, what does this mean? What does this mean, ladies and gentlemen? Do you guys have any ideas what this means? Do any of you guys know what the Unismundus is? All right. So now this is just for the sake of visualization, okay? Okay, so this is the first time some of you have heard of the Unismundus, right? Now, fundamentally, I don't want you guys to think we're talking about some crazy stuff, okay? What kind of makes this information hard to swallow and hard to palate is that we place it on this crazy pedestal. We're like, oh my God, it's the second coming, it's the second coming. Like, no, the biggest thing, and literally the whole reason I'm here is because this is an integral part of your guys' story, right? This is within all of us, right? We all experience both mind and psyche. We all experience the matter in the 3D. We are living organisms in this experience, and we're all trying to understand it, right? So the Unismundus is this realm right here, right? This is the Unismundus. Now, what makes this so special, right, is this is the realm where both mind and psyche come together as one, right? This is where it equals the matter. But this is where all the synchronicity happens. Now, what's happening on a fundamental level, if you guys experience angel numbers, right? So if we're experiencing 1111, 222, 333, 444, 555, 666, that's because the Unismundus, some traits of it are arithmetic, right? Arithmetic, which is math, and numerical. Drop a 1 in the chat if you understand that kind of the fundamental bricks of the universe all have to do with numbers. Geometry, math, language, and music. Drop a 1 in the chat if you understand that numbers are the foundation of this reality. The numerical matrix. I need to know. Even if this is your first time conceiving of it, but if it makes sense, just drop a 1 in the chat. Right? This is how we come to a realization, right? This is why we have something like the golden ratio. I'm just going to write golden. This is why we have like a perfect musical scale, right? Now, I want you to drop, Cliff, I love that. Yes, you have to think of everything as energy, right? Because everything manifests in the energetic realm before it can manifest in the physical realm, right? So if I'm going to give you guys just the answer right now, mind and matter are not separate things. It's actually only this realm. This is the only thing that exists, right? We're the ones creating illusion through duality, right? That's what the 3D is all about. That's why we have this concept. But Carl Jung was starting to identify the fact that it's a unified field, it's a unified consciousness. Now, if you see a number, right? Let's say we see, I'm just doing 1111 because it's the basic one, right? 1111 is an angel number. We see this. That's because we've changed something energetically about our internal state to align in this realm. But we're seeing perfect harmony, right? So this synchronicity is harmony. I'm going to start to destroy my drawing. It's harmony. What's another word I could use? Alignment. Chris says, practical life-changing knowledge is what I need. All right, this might not be practical, but this is a foundation for life-changing knowledge, right? I'm talking about all the mystical stuff, like the fun stuff that kind of happens from this place. We're going to build from here, right? But for those of you that are here, how many of you understand? Drop a 2 in the chat if you've heard of what a fractal is, right? A fractal is like this. It's the flower of life. How many of you guys have seen the flower of life image? Drop a 2 in the chat. You guys have all seen it. It's in nature. It's in nature. Why is this so important? Why is this so important? This is super important because everything comes from the source, right? Everything stems from the realm of mind and it manifests into matter. And if everything stems from the same source, every one of us right here is a different circle. Different circle, but from the same source. Exactly, Kia, thank you. Sacred geometry is within everything. So what does this tell us? What does this tell us? We can look at all the cool symbolism. But we are all a core integral part of this source. We embody the same traits of the source. We are no separate. So whatever is happening over here in the 3D world that we're playing victim to bring it full circle, Chris is like, I need practical information. This is it. If you want your life to change, we are looking to the 3D world. That's the first mistake. We're looking into the realm of illusion for a decision to be made. But what we need to do is change our internal energetic state, which is awareness. Aware. All right, I'm about to move on, but full transparency, so I know everyone's on the same page. I want you to drop a 111 in the chat. Throw me some angel numbers. Throw me some angel numbers in the chat. So I know we're on the same page. This is making sense before we get into the real information. Oh yeah, let's go. See, this is cool. This is cool. This is what exploring is, right? Right now we're exploring life together. We're like, oh my God, we're experiencing this crazy metaphysical realm. But what does it mean for our actual life, right? Now, the ego is going to be searching. The ego is always going to search for something in the external world. It's always going to be looking for something to validate it. It's always going to be looking to need something more. So we need to get rid of the ego entirely, because the ego is the thing that creates the separation. The ego is the lens of illusion preventing us from the Unismundus. It's this invisible filter of identity, I, Grant, or Kia, or Matt, or Cliff, or Chris, right? That's an illusory identity. It's not going to be here forever. It's not going to be here forever. So what does that mean? What do we have to do with this information now? Thank you for the angel numbers. We're going to keep it rolling. All right. This is all the cool metaphysical stuff. This is the stuff that everyone gets into, but they get stuck on, right? So they're like, oh my God, I live in this crazy reality. What does this mean for me? I'm going to show you what it means for you. Remember, unified, energetic source where mind equals matter. That's the only thing you need to, one song, universe, Unismundus, one world, one unified source where mind equals matter. Now we're going to look at multiple ways to visualize this, okay? While I draw my next drawing, I want you guys to tell me in the chat what your main goal is. What's your main goal with self-development and transformation? Because you're consuming this content, yes, to explore because it's cool, but there's something that you want. How does one transcend the ego? I'm going to show you right now. But everyone, tell me what your main goals are. Balance, abundance. I want a lot of answers. Everyone tell me in the chat. Alignment, abundance, balance. Everyone give me an answer. The more the merrier. I'm calling on the collective right now. If you're sitting on your phone, if you're sitting on your computer being a hermit, come on. Tell me something. Tell me something. Riches, so I cannot work a 9 to 5. Growing inwards, so I can be happy. Alignment and abundance. Dude. You guys, I literally destroy markers. I go through markers in a crazy amount. All right, inner peace. I like that. Love, peace, abundance, and joy. All right. You notice how everyone is answering the same thing. Everyone's answering the same thing. Just take note to that for me for 1 second. I love that you guys want this though. Right? We want to overcome suffering, illusion, separation, okay, I'm going to show you guys how Dr. David R. Hawkins, and we can even work in some of the Dispenza stuff. I don't care if you drop any philosopher, spiritual teacher, or doctor in the chat. They're all talking about the same thing, and I'm going to show you how you can get there. All right? So there's something called the map of consciousness, right? We got the map of consciousness. Now, at each stage, I'm not going to draw all the stages for the sake of time, but I'm going to show you how there's different levels that we're all trying to work through, right? So we have fear. Let's just say we have scarcity. We have courage. We have love / joy. We have peace. And then we have the Tao, which is total, or I'm going to say pure consciousness. Now, I want you guys to think about this graph. Okay, when you see this graph, just know it is a map of consciousness, but it's an energetic scale, okay? It's an energetic scale. So fundamentally, I'm referring to the quantum field and its labels, right? This is what Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about, the 99.9% energy. This entire field has been mapped by Dr. David R. Hawkins in this manner, okay? If you are with me, if you understand the foundation of this information right here before we build upon it, drop a 33 in the chat for the 33 people that are here. Drop a 33. Let me know. So we're on the same page. No soldier left behind. There we go. There we go. Okay. Now, what were the things everyone wanted? We had peace, balance, love, abundance. Those were the four main things. And if one of you said passive income, then you want abundance and peace, right? Having our finances figured out is for stability, because stability provides us peace of mind. And when we have peace of mind, we can love more. We can feel like we're not lacking, right? Simple. So it's always peace, love, joy, or abundance, which is just right here. So we're going to highlight that. We have peace, love, and then down here, we have fear, we have scarcity. Now, I want you to drop a 4 in the chat if you guys have embarked on a journey for peace of mind, love, and abundance, but you felt scared, you felt fear, you started to change and it was uncomfortable, right? The transformation became hard. You're like, oh my God, like I'm falling back into my old ways. I'm falling back into the ego. I'm falling back into the suffering. I'm falling back into the illusion. I'm falling back into the separation, right? That's part of the journey. It was happening with one of my one-on-one clients. Last week, he wasn't doing the best, but this week was insane. Everything you guys were after, he said, this is the first time in my life that I've been naturally in a state of happiness and joy and peace, and I haven't had to think about it. Drop a 1 in the chat if you want to be happy, experience peace of mind and joy, and you don't even have to think about it. It's just your natural state. Drop a 1 in the chat. Drop a 1 in the chat if you want more of that in your life. Oh, yeah. We all want it, right? Someone drop a 1 in the chat for me. Someone drop a 1 in the chat for me. Okay. Now, are you guys ready for me to give you the answer to what you're looking for? If we're in this lower state of consciousness, this is what we're saying through our thoughts and emotions. All right, we have our thoughts, we have our emotions. The thoughts we communicate with the energetic field. The emotions are the energetic signature we get back, right? This is what's going on. So, if you guys want to experience more peace, love, joy, and abundance, you need to figure out how to transcend the ego. Yes, Chris, it's the feedback loop. If you guys are saying, I don't have happiness, I don't have what I'm looking for, guess what you're doing? You are creating a self-fulfilling prophecy of an identity of lack. Think about it. If you think something is missing, then you are energetically attracting that lack into your life. You are at this level of consciousness. Now, this map of consciousness works like a magnet. Okay? It's not, I'm going to get in shape and then I'm going to be happy. That's not what happens. That is not how reality works. It's called an energy attractor pattern. So, think about it. If you're at this level of consciousness of fear and scarcity, everything in your reality, in your 3D world, is going to reflect this like a mirror. Drop a 1 in the chat if this is making sense. Drop a 1 in the chat if this is making sense. Right, if we have this going on and we're like, we need to grow from it. We need to evolve beyond this. Okay, here's the secret. Now, the ego is always going to need more. Monet said, act as if. Neville Goddard was wrong. Kind of. This is really what's going on. It's not acting as if you have a Lamborghini. It's not acting as if you have $1 million in your bank account, right? Because then you still, in your mind, are saying, I have $1 million, but your subconscious knows you don't, right? So you're out of coherence. Your thoughts and emotions don't align, even if you're acting as if. What's really going on? Ready? If you remove the illusion of the ego that creates your suffering, right? Your identity of lack is creating your suffering, which is fueling an illusion of separation from you and your peace, love, and joy. We need to figure out how to handle the ego. So guess what it is? It's not acting as if you have something. It's removing the illusion that you need it to experience happiness now. Happiness only exists now. That's the power of now. So we're going to do this, ladies and gentlemen. If you meditate, right? We silence our mind. The whole point of meditation is to silence your mind, to stop those thoughts, to stop the ego, to stop comparing ourselves to others, to slow down. When we do this, we realize that we were just looking for something to numb ourselves or to escape the present moment. Why would you want to escape the present moment when it's the gift? The present moment is all we have, ladies and gentlemen. Right? Meditation is to completely dissolve the ego. That's how you transcend it, by letting it go, by no longer giving it power, by saying, I understand your job is to protect me and keep yourself alive, but I'm not doing that. So what happens when we start to dissolve these lower states of consciousness? We let go of the scarcity and fear. We let go of the need to have things in the 3D world. We let go of the narrative that I don't have something. If you're telling yourself, I don't have happiness, you got to tell yourself, why would I be thinking that right now? Why would I tell myself that I'm not happy? That does not serve me. We're going to erase that from our frame of awareness. And as soon as you remove it from your frame of awareness, it will no longer show that to you in the mirror of the 99.9% energy. And then we dissolve the identity of lack. Now, ladies and gentlemen, look at what's left. Tell me what's left on the board right now. Everyone tell me what's left. When we surrender the lower states of consciousness, surrendered, what's left? Everyone tell me. That's no longer in our frame of awareness. Yes, all of it. All of it. Everyone's right. Everything you guys said, peace, love, joy, and courage. Because we're no longer feeding these lower energetic realms. Now, guess what? If you surrender courage, if we get rid of courage, then we have love and joy. If we surrender love and joy, then we experience peace. But guess what? All of these states still exist. It's all coming from the energetic source. You are just experiencing peace because you understand the wisdom from each level. Right? So this is where it goes from here. This 99.9% energy, we got the 99.99 equals no thing. Someone in the chat, tell me right now why it's no thing. Let me know. Why is this energetic source considered no thing? I want someone to answer that. I'm calling on the collective right now. I know someone in here has the answer. Thank you, Elliot. It's potentially everything. Potential energy. Think about it. It's potentially everything. It's pure potential, which means that it all exists in there. It all exists. It just hasn't been collapsed into an experience yet. Guess what makes an experience? Awareness of it. So, if we're not using our power as a conscious creator to observe these lower realms, right? If we're not experiencing fear, if we're saying, no, we don't want to experience that, guess what we have the opportunity to observe? Peace, love, joy. Think about it. You have to transcend these lower realms. But the only way you transcend them is by realizing it's not a ladder to climb. This is not what it is. You do not go like this. No. No. Right? This is what's really going on here. Let's say this is you, and you want love. You see how you're telling yourself there's already a gap? If we're telling ourselves we need something to get love, right? We're saying, I need validation. I need a girlfriend or a boyfriend. We're saying, I need money. We are placing these things as invisible illusions and energetic barriers in between us and where we want to go. Drop a 1 in the chat if this is making sense. Drop a 1 in the chat if you see how we're placing illusions in between us and what we want. I better see the chat light up. There's 42 of you here. This is the simplest thing we've talked about tonight. And guess what? These are all things that are illusions fed to you by the ego. Illusion. Nick says, how do we eliminate the illusions? By letting them go. I love that, Elliot. Elliot says, you'll never have what you think you need. Yes, it all starts with awareness. It all starts with awareness. That's the fundamental first step. Because guess what? If we become aware of the fact that we don't need these things, what happens? We're like, I don't need money. I don't need a girlfriend or a boyfriend to experience love. I don't need validation. Then there's no gap. Then it exists, and there's no thing in between us and that experience. You see what happens when we surrender the illusion? We coexist with the thing we were looking for. Now we're going to get into it a little more. This is the true information I'm going to give you guys, okay? We have to become the source of what we seek. Oh my God, that's a big right side. We got to do something about that. Guess what? Everyone's so focused on what they're going to receive. Everyone is so focused. Oh my God, am I going to receive this thing that's going to eventually give me happiness? This is the real secret. This is the real secret. You have to become the source of what you seek. If you want love, if love is something that makes your life better, you can give that to someone right now. You can give love, and then it exists in this moment. You use your power as a creator to collapse it in the moment. You have to become the source of what you seek. You need to stop waiting for life to begin. You need to stop waiting for life to get better for you, because it never will. It's an illusion that is bad. Nick says, the smell of the rose lingers on the hand that casts it. Brian Tracy quoting Shakespeare, meaning if you compliment and congratulate people, then that sense is attributed to you as well. It's exactly. Jeff says, why do we attract lower level people in our life? Because we energetically put up with them. You attract what you are. Now, it's not necessarily saying that you're a low vibe person. It's saying that you put up with their BS. You allow them to be in your life when you can just cut it off. You are giving the opportunity for them to be in your life, so you will receive that type of person. Dee says, so you mean give money to receive it? It's energy. If all you want to do is receive money, but you're not giving it, if you're not investing it, why do you think it's called cash flow? It's a stream of income. It's a bank, like a river bank. That's why all the terms with money are related to water. Water flows. You got to spend money to make money is what they say, baby. Nick says, silence is consent. Set that boundary, broski. Exactly. Elliot says, when you give money, you communicate that you are more than enough. The universe then mirrors your abundance. Exactly. Now guess what? You don't have to always spend money to get it. If you give value, if you give transformation that is worth a certain dollar, then you'll receive it. In the last 2 months, I built a full-on social media brand just giving value. I give people information they're looking for, and I'm not looking to receive information in return. Some people pay to work with me. Chris Higgins says, what if you work with a lot of low vibe and negative coworkers? Well, you don't got to be low vibe and negative like them. Right? You don't have to feed that energy. Right? If you focus on that, then you're going to see it in your reality. You just no longer need to be bound by it. Drop a 1 in the chat if this is making sense. Drop a 1 in the chat if this is making sense. Oh, yeah. You guys, Gandhi said, be the change you wish to see in the world. Now we got quantum physics to prove it. All right. And now I'm also curious. What time do you guys prefer I stream? I've done 5:30 p.m. PST for the last 2 weeks. Would you prefer I go back to the 6:30 p.m. PST slot? Tell me 5:30 or 6:30 in the chat. 5:30 p.m. PST or 6:30 p.m. PST in the chat. Elliot says 6:30. Laura says 6:30. Sarah says 6:30. Kia says 6:30. Everyone, all right, respect, ladies and gentlemen. Respect. 6:30 was the time that I was streaming, and that was like the time where it's like, oh, it gives everyone an hour and a half to get off work on the West Coast. Dee says, the red and blue looks like a magnet. Exactly, because they're polar energetics. This is like the energetic poles. Boom. All right, 6:30. 6:30. I like that. Now, I want you to drop a 2 in the chat if you would come to a 2-night event next week on Wednesday and Thursday if I hosted back-to-back live streams and we did a full-on masterclass with all this stuff. Drop a 2 in the chat if you would want to be a part of that. Two. I'm curious. Oh, yeah. I've also been a lot more active on my Instagram too. So that's where I've been posting a lot of content. It's kind of been popping off lately. Dee says, can you talk about visualization, please? Yeah, so the reason visualization is so powerful is because your brain doesn't know the difference. Your brain doesn't know the difference between an experience you're having in reality and an experience you're having internally. Okay, why is that the case? How many of you have been on a road trip, driving in the car, and you start to relive past experiences in your head or future experiences? That feels so real. You're driving, but you experience some more real reality from something of the past on that road trip. That's the power of visualization. So your body, biologically and chemically, through your thoughts and emotions, is reliving that. That's the power of visualization. Now imagine if you use it to your advantage. If you visualized yourself feeling gratitude. And I'm telling you guys right now, the material shit is so shallow. You guys, the material shit is so shallow. When I was 24, I was running a 7-figure business. I was working with creators with hundreds of thousands and millions of followers. I would travel to Tulum, Mexico, to New York City, to Miami, and everyone would glaze me. And I would fucking feel so shallow. So don't spend your time visualizing something like that because that's not what you're looking for. Please. With great power comes great responsibility. You think that you want material things, but you don't. Drop a 1 in the chat if you remember what everyone said they want. Everyone really just wants peace, love, joy, and abundance. Drop a 1 in the chat if you want peace, love, joy, and abundance. Cliff, it might be fulfilling for like 7 seconds. The dopamine's cool sometimes, but I'm telling you, the most fulfilling thing is giving to others. Relita says, I want a white cat. See, now that's love. I support that. Chris says, we want good things to facilitate good experiences, but yeah, you're right about the quick fix for the luxury goods. All right, I have a Chinese proverb for you guys. Now, I want you to visualize this for me. We're going to use visualization. I want you to visualize that a little panda and a little dragon are on an adventure. And this little panda is walking on this path, and the little dragon's on its back. And the little panda goes, Dragon, what do you think is more important? The journey or the destination? Let me know what you think. The dragon said, journey or destination? Drop a J or a D. Journey or destination? It was a trick question, ladies and gentlemen. The dragon responded, the company along the way. Now, all the magic happens on the journey. That's 99% of the experience. But the truth is, it's about the company. It's about the love we share with the people around us. That's the connection. That's the true connection we're all after. There's 3 things people want. They want to be seen, heard, or held. Seen, heard, or held. So if you want to have a luxury experience doing luxury things, you're doing it with people. That's why you want it. You want the experience with your friends on the yacht. Right? You want the experience with those people in that environment, which is great. But think about it. You can have that experience now. You don't need to wait for those things to happen because you're going to walk the journey regardless. I look at it where it's like, I'm going to enjoy what's in front of me because it will not be like that. It will not be like that in time. Sarah Zephyr says, we're the company. Exactly. I don't care about the journey or the destination. I care about the time I get to spend with you guys. You guys make my job fun. I love engaging with you guys. Like, I genuinely do. This is what I want to do. One of my one-on-one clients had an amazing transformation, and I finished an amazing call with him, and I called my mom, and I was like, he's experiencing so much of what he was looking for a few weeks ago. And she said, Grant, I want you to pay attention. It was never about the money. It was about the fact that you experienced the ability to help someone transform their life for the better, and you got to make that connection with them, and you will have that experience with them forever. That's what it's about. I'm telling you guys right now, and you guys all know it. The ability to give love. Chris says, also translate this for introverts who don't or think they don't want a lot of people around them. Connecting with humanity as an introvert. I think being introverted is complicated. Right? I think people tell themselves they want to be alone, tell themselves they want to be interrupted, but that might be an internal psyche type of thing. I don't feel like they're going to receive me, which might be a core wound. Now, don't get me wrong. I spend a lot of time alone. But in the moments I do have with people, make it about them. Whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, you have to make it about them. It is about becoming selfless. So I don't even want to make it about introvert or extrovert because that's a duality. It's about being selfless. Because think about it. I was listening to this podcast by this guy named Peter Crone. Shout out Sarah. I had that little synchronicity with you on Monday where I was like, I was listening to this podcast and you're like, you need to check out Peter Crone. So I listened to more of it. And what he was saying was, we all fall in love, or we're all trying to have a relationship with an identity of ourself through another person. Think about it. Think about it. If you have ever had a toxic relationship, it's because you're having a relationship with the identity of yourself that that other person feeds back to you. Dee Dee, Relita, we're all your friends. We're all your friends. You guys, I'm going to tell you a secret right now. If people are standoffish or they're negative Nancy's in public, it's because they're focused on their own lack and their own insecurity. Think about it. You can literally pull someone out of that state immediately. If you guys want to know what like true magic is, it's the ability to wake people up from their suffering. In person. Think about if any of you guys saw me in public, you think I'd let you be quiet around me? You think I'd let you kind of sulk and be like, hi, Grant, nice to meet you. I'd be like, what's up? How's it going? Give me a hug. I'd bring out that version of you. Chris says, do you know about the Jungian shadow, the collective unconscious? I do. Sarah says, I feel best when I give through my art. I've dipped in my creativity and don't feel as good as before. Sarah says, how to get more inspiration. Do it for love. Do it for the love of the game. If you love your art, don't do it for a reason. Don't even do it to connect with it. Do it because you love it. And if you need to take a break, then recharge. Recharge. Lorenzo, what's up, dude? How's it going? Introverts don't trust so fast, and that's maybe because they've been burned. They think that because someone treated them a certain way in the past means it's a reflection of them. That's not the case. If anyone has anything to say about me, I know by default they see something they don't like about themselves in me. That's what they say. The light can be blinding. Don't let anyone dim your light. Don't let anyone dim your light. If you're here to give and you're here to love and you have positive intention, you know that in your heart. It's not your job to convince someone else of that. It's simple. All right, ladies and gentlemen, drop in 8 and 8 in the chat if you guys had a good stream tonight. If you liked the stream tonight, drop an 8 in the chat. If you had a good stream tonight, if you like what we were talking about. I had a great time. This was all flow state. Everything you guys saw for the last hour was just me feeling the vibes out. Thank you, Elliot. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. You guys, I'm here for the long run. At 25, I came to the conclusion that I'm dedicating my life to this because 2 things. 1, I want to experience financial abundance through changing people's lives for the better. The people that want to be around me are going to be around me. And 2, I'm just going to go be James Bond, an international man of mystery after that. Travel and see the world. Connect with more humans out there. That's all I want to do. So thank you guys for giving me the opportunity. Thank you for showing up and hanging out with me. I got nothing but love. We're going to be running it back on Monday, but we're going to be doing it at 6:30 p.m. PST. I'm drawing that out right now. 6:30 p.m. PST. You guys, this is my sacrifice to you. I will give my evenings in service if you guys benefit from this. Because if 41 people take something from this, then it's not about me. It's not about the fact that I want to get in bed and read Harry Potter. It is about the fact that I want to get in bed and read Harry Potter, but I can do it a little later than normal. 6:30, so I can be with you guys more. And that's it. I'm about to go play some basketball with my brothers and my best friends. Peace, love, and I'll see you in the next one, ladies and gentlemen. Take care of yourself.